Did you want to debate the fucking wage gap?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me guess, you think it's real?
Absolutely. What the heck?
Okay. Yeah,
Yo, she said absolutely. What the heck? She
Duh.
said, "Hold your
Did
facts,
you want to go
bitch."
first, or do you want to go? You want to go second? I'll let you choose.
You can go first.
If I go first, you won't have anything to counter. Let's tell you that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right.
This is,
I don't even need 5 minutes, but I'll just put 5 minutes.
Bro, my fucking shit is tripping.
All right, so we're
tell me
debating
it's
is the wage gap real? Okay, give me a second here. I still remember all the statistics that I have. Okay. Here we go.
oh, whoa. Yeah,
All right, so the wage gap is most definitely false. The whole myth behind it is the idea or presupposition that women have less opportunity and have less affirmative action when they are being hired and when they are hired as far as negotiation. So the 80 cent on the dollar argument and the very, I would say, propositions for it are flawed and just completely incorrect empirically and objectively, and here's why. Statistically, more women go to college in comparison to men. I think it's a 2 to 3 ratio now. In fact, I think that's empirically proven. So women have more opportunity in the world of academia. On top of that, affirmative action actually encourages corporations to hire a woman over a man. So you could actually make the argument that women have more opportunity. Again, that's more debatable. It's not the point here. But that's another proposition to reinforce my premise. Continuing on further, the very reason that men are still more paid than women is because of the very occupations that they decide to go to. Most women, the vast majority, opt out of dangerous, high-risk jobs because they don't want to do them. There is no lack of opportunity, just the lack of initiation and ambition for higher risk jobs such as firefighters, oil drilling companies, architecture, things of those nature where there's a lot of high risk or high logic involved. They opt out of it and they go to more people-oriented jobs like social work, nursing, teaching, etc., where the salary is lower because of the lower risk, because of the lower contribution to society when it comes to numbers on the dollar. So the very reason that they're paid less is not because of lack of opportunity. It's one, because of the occupations that they decide to go to. Most of them are not STEM majors in college. They choose, again, more people-oriented jobs that don't require STEM major degrees. They work less hours because they're less ambitious. That's just a biological hardwiring. They're just more predisposed to work less. They want to be mothers. They want to be wives. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's their choice. Again, the key word is choice versus lack of opportunity. It's not so much lack of opportunity. It's lack of decision-making to go into those jobs that pay more. So overall, the variables that conclude that women are paid less are variables that could be easily changed if women just decided to go to these routes, to go to jobs that pay higher, that are higher risk, to work more hours because if they had the ambition to do so, to not have kids, which blatantly goes against women's biological makeup. So in conclusion, there is no wage gap, and there's certainly no wage gap because of the reasons that bullshit woke feminists like to claim. It's because women choose to work less, to work easier jobs, and to be more so mothers and wives in the end. So the wage gap is bullshit. So, yeah.
easier jobs. Are you kidding me?
What's harder, oil drilling or fucking being a teacher? It's not even close.
Dude, Jay, I love the stuff you put down, bro. It's awesome.
Did you even want to give it a
All
shot,
right,
Alexa?
What'd you say? Wait, what?
Did you even want to give it a chance? I mean,
You have a mouth on you. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, you tell him, Alexa.
I'll go.
All right, you
How
ready?
much time do I have?
I mean, I'll give you more time, but I'll just put 5 minutes. But I'm sure you could take more time if you want. Doesn't matter.
I'm not going to.
You probably won't need to because it's trivial. But you ready?
Seriously? Seriously? Okay, go
All
ahead.
right, ready? Go ahead.
All right, so I do believe that there is a wage gap. Like you said, women tend not to choose most after college. Women and men kind of go in different directions when it comes to their career. However, it is known that women make about 80% of what a man makes every year, and there's many different factors that impact that wage gap. One of the biggest reasons is that I know from experience and from my own learning in school is that men are the cheaper but most expensive option when you go into fields that are heavily dominated by females. When you see a man come into that field, in my personal opinion, not that I have any facts about, it's more of a reward to get a man to hold those positions. A lot of the times in those higher up positions like presidents, CEOs, CFOs, it's better to have a man. Why? Because women, yes, can be more emotional, have a hard time making those decisions, and it's also more expensive in the long run to pay a woman a higher salary to run a kind of position like that than it is a man, because if that woman goes on maternity leave and she does something like that, you're hiring people to replace them. So it's always been, in my opinion, a way where in job markets now, if it's a field where if it's heavily dominated by females or vice versa, when one or the other comes, yeah, it could be more of like a sign to want to employ them because they need it. But in most cases, like just the gender biases alone against women and men have more opportunities than women do, just because of their emotions and because their ability to handle stressful situations and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's not a lot of facts that I have because I didn't have that much time to prepare it. Thanks a lot, Jay. But there's no doubt in my mind that, women only earn about 80% of what a man does every single year because of the expectation that, they're going to be off work, or they're not probably going to do as good of a job. They're not going to be able to handle stressful situations as well. So it is the better decision to probably employ the male versus the female. So.
Okay. So can you quote any single piece of empirical evidence that you utilized?
Oh yeah, let me just pull out my notes that I did before jumping on this stream right now about all the gender gaps.
I mean, I didn't have any notes either, though. That was just all from the dome. But
what do you mean notes about what?
About the empirical evidence I have. But did you reference at least one piece?
I mean, there was one. I mean, it is known that women make about 80% of what a man does. That's just facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you didn't counter anything I said.
You're a savage, dude.
You didn't counter a single piece. And let me ask you, where does your opinion originate from?
You see how he treats me?
Hey Jay, I'm curious. Like, are these statistics for the world?
Oh no,
just for, like, our nation in
it's like
general?
the United States, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, in different parts of the world, yeah, it's much different for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So
there is certain fields out there where if a man walks into that field, it's like a gold mine. Like, I work in the behavioral health field that is like 90% dominated by females. When men come into our field, they try to snatch them up as quickly as they come into it. It's not a very male-dominated field, and this is a kind of field like behavioral health that needs more men. So there's fields like the one I'm in where like they'll pay 2 times as much for a man to work at that job than a female.
Yeah, but
so I also think it depends on what career I think you're going into to be able to say, oh yeah, there's a huge wage gap.
That's a red herring though, because
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is, because that's besides the point. The point is it's a wage gap, right? The whole idea is that the wage gap was initialized because lack of opportunity, right? That's what you believe.
What? I don't know.
You don't know.
What do you mean? I believe that there is a general wage gap between males and females.
Why is that?
What do you mean? Look at it.
What's the reason?
You stress me out.
What's the reason for it?
Because I think, in my personal opinion, being in a leadership position before, I think that it's easier to employ a male versus a female.
Why is it easier?
Oh my god, you're a savage, dude. Why do you think?
Like, it's interesting. Like, I feel like on certain points that she makes, it's just like it's really interesting because like I don't know, man. Like from my experiences alone, for what I've seen all around, like I've seen where like women are actually CEOs of companies compared to men, as crazy as that sounds. I've seen where like women are getting promoted more to men, whether if it's due to sexual appealing or if it's just due to the fact, I don't know, fucking because a guy wants to have that woman over, or another girl just like thinks a woman could do the job. Like, it's as weird as it is, but like I see like the opposite. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just once again with my experiences here and there.
Yeah.
You could say everybody could say all around like, oh, I've experienced this, experienced that.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like, other than that, like the only other thing you can really boil down to obviously is just statistics and objective evidence.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alexa. So, what do you think there's a wage gap though? Do you think it's lack of opportunity or?
I think there's
unfair advantages.
Unfair advantages.
Like what?
Dang, dude, you really put me on. You're doing this on purpose. He planned to
Wait,
sabotage.
so Jay, so let me just get this straight. So basically, you're saying that women are biologically hardwired to not strive to work as hard as males. Is that
Yeah,
somewhere just what you're saying?
yeah, they're biologically hardwired to seek jobs that don't require as much physical effort or risk. Yeah.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Like, for
Which
if you put
results
a woman
in-
and a guy in a
yeah.
warehouse job, you know what I mean?
Which
Obviously,
results
the
in
guy's gonna
lower,
start better.
what's gonna result in lower pay because there's not as much risk in the jobs that they choose.
That's quite a statistic though, because like that's hard to like like validate because like so many subjective
I
cases.
mean,
you know what I'm
the way to
saying?
survey
In
that
the
is you
general-
just essentially see who's working where, and then you try to break down
okay.
why, then you break down
Yeah.
what fields of discipline are women studying in college, and the vast majority are not studying high risk jobs.
You want
There
to know
you go.
another thing?
Yeah.